Hello. Okay, let's continue. I added a little bit of graphics here. And I also added this smaller variant of the enemies. I added like projectiles for the machine guns, variants for the weapon mods, and also did a little bit of animation for the merging, when you like merge things in the inventory. And I was thinking also to do the shield graphics, but I think I'm gonna do that tomorrow actually. And I will be able to continue actually working tomorrow, so I have a little bit more time than I initially thought, which doesn't really mean much, but hey, we take the little things that we can get. Okay, now let's head back. So basically, so first I wanna do the weapon projectile sprites. So let's go over to item, and we have this machine gun thing here. And this sprite here is for the actual weapon itself. And then we have the projectile sprite, which we can fetch over here. This is sort here 0, so 121, 160. One 8. Okay, and then we have tier 2, 138, 160. 38, I believe. Yeah, and then this one is 155, 160. 511. Okay, so now we have like the normal, the actual weapon sprite and the projectile sprite. We are not using the projectile sprite, however. So this should use the projectile sprite instead of the other sprite. There we go. So now we should actually, that should already work now. Famous last words. Oh, I know this problem now, by now. Okay, cool. That works. Great. One thing that I thought that I should add is like maybe a tiny bit of knockback, like when you hit an enemy. Now the bullets are, you can see the offset is kinda, you know, off a little bit. You probably want the machine gun to be like in the center. Or I mean, yeah, the offset is a little bit off. Where is that? I think that is actually on the body. So player body offset. The thing is, like, we have kind of like two different offsets. This is like the shop offset. It's not really the, this is like the equip offset. But then we also want to have like the actual gameplay offset, I guess. Which I need to tweak. But yes, so that's gonna be the same for this equip offset. Yeah. And if we go to where we actually spawn the thing, this one should be gameplay offset and not the equip offset. Okay. And now we can actually modify this to our heart's content. So we can, for example, say that this should be further in. So let's say 1 point something there. Okay. So that is now a little bit more where it should be, probably. Okay, now yeah. Alright, so graphics projectiles is done. So graphics is basically done now for the machine gun. The data though. Yo, Penguin. The data. That's the thing here, like when we initialize this, we probably want to provide the tier, and we'll initialize this with a bunch, well, like with the actual tier. Thank you, Piano. Okay, and this is the original tier. Probably fine. Hello, Tink. What's up? What's up? Welcome. How's it going? Okay, so tier 1. We could probably increase rate of fire a little bit. Damage is gonna increase, probably double the damage, maybe. And tier 2. I'm good. Hopefully, I'm a little bit stressed with this game here. Hopefully I'll get to add more things to it, so I don't know, so that I'm happy with it. With the amount of time I've been putting into it. Which plugin do you use for the Git coloring on the left? I don't know actually. Don't think it's... Oh, it's Git Signs probably. Git Signs. No problem. And this one could lower rate a little bit more, increase base damage, and increase that. Okay, there we go. Yeah, now we actually need the tier here. And this tier is 0. And you need the tier, so we put the tier in there. There we go. Cool. What kind of games are you building? I see shop and weapons. Yeah, I can show you here. Okay, it's a little bit chaotic right now because I'm like randomly generating the waves right now. It's a shoot 'em up, as you can see here. And you destroy these enemies. You collect basically like money here that you can use to buy things, like buy upgrades. And that one actually looks like a shard, except it's not. And eventually we'll reach the end of this stage. I need to kind of balance the kind of difficulty of the waves and stuff like that, but yeah, that's the basic idea. And then you can, so the theme of the game jam is like hex plus merge. So I'll show you here in a second. I'm not sure, should I make shards not being able to exit? Whatever, that's an acceptable bug. Like that, for example, that wave was just ridiculous. It's kind of interesting that sometimes you get these things. Okay, last wave here. It starts to lag now because I'm not removing any entities when they go off the screen, so we still have like everything there. Okay, so now the stage is done. I can choose one like thing to buy here. I should probably like show that what's happening here. Like choose one, because otherwise you might think you can choose like buy everything, but you can only buy one. And we're gonna buy this one, for example, and here's our money here, and we'll buy this, and now we're in like the inventory phase where we can merge, and this is the second part of the theme, is when you can merge things. So I can merge these. If I have 2 items of the same type, I can merge them into tier 2 and equip that on my ship. So now I have 2 tier 2 and yeah, I'm basically kicking ass here right now. So except, ooh, oh man, I took the damage there. Oh shit. Okay, yeah, as I said, I need to balance kind of the difficulty and like the weapons of the enemies and the spawn, like different spawns and stuff. But yeah, blue drops are more money. Yes. Thing I like most is the drop animation of the coins. Cool. Yeah, I really like. I got the kind of the spin effect. Is pretty cool. I think it looks pretty good. The blue, yeah. So the green ones give you 1, blue gives you 5, and red gives you 15. If I don't misremembering that, something like that. Anyway, the reds are worth the most. Yeah, so, and there's gonna be like, there's only one type of weapon right now, but the I guess the strength of this system will be when I add more things to it. Like right now there's only like one type of weapon, there's only one type of like, you can have a body mod, as I call it, where it's kind of like a shield or something else that improves your ship. Yeah, coin counter, that, yeah. I have said that multiple times, but I never actually added it to my to-do list, actually, so thank you for that. I should add it here, actually. The HUD, we need a coin counter, maybe also like a level counter or something like that. Stage counter. Right now I have a bunch of debug messages, which I don't remember where I put those, actually. I have a whole bunch of these. Wait, this is not the thing. It's gonna be draw text centered, probably. Yeah. Here. I'm gonna remove that one. So don't need it anymore. And I guess we can remove the wave. We'll just have like stage X is gonna show. But for the shards though, I wanna do something else. But unused, right. I want to show an actual like shard icon instead of just saying shards. The stage counter is there. Yes. I was thinking maybe I should change it a little bit. But yeah, it's there. So technically it is there. You're correct. I will take that off. This one is kind of important because the further you go in, the more it's gonna lag. So maybe I'll add this into the enemy system, actually. And where's the update here? Update, remove out of bounds. Okay. So then iterator for enemies that also have all these. Yeah. The enemies, like nothing gets removed at the bottom of the screen. The player bullets actually get removed, but the like when they reach the top of the screen, so you can't like shoot enemies that come in from the top before they even arrive on screen. But the enemies are never removed, so that's what I'm gonna do here. So I'll go through each enemy and basically get the body if do we have like out of bounds? Let's do like allow top, because that's like they come in from the top, so they should only be removed if they're like in the bottom. So that should be this one here. Rules not equal to allow top and that. Okay. So if out of bounds. Then we destroy. Okay, and then we do the same for the projectiles. Which is basically gonna be like damage on touch. Which, well, all enemies also have add damage on touch, so technically we can only do this, but I'm gonna do it like this. Yeah, and that's basically the same thing there. So now we shouldn't lag anymore. We could maybe keep track of like number of entities to make sure that it works. So what is the number of entities? Number of entities is going to be game registry, probably count. Can we count it? I mean, I guess what you could do is you can get one of the, like you can get data for example, the enemies to see that they are not, and then the length of that we can get this plus damage on touch. Okay. Can you activate an entity counter to test? Yeah. And there we go. They go down. Cool. If entity is an array, can't you do dot length? Yes, but they were not an array. They were like an iterator or something. So I had to like choose which component, because it's an ECS library that I'm using. So the entities are stored per like component type, essentially. Well, sort of, I guess. And so, yeah, there was no way to get all entities. I guess it's not really a usual like operation to get all entities. It's just all component based. The coins disappear if not picked up. No, they keep around. They never disappear. Sorry for a bunch of questions, just curious. Yeah, no, go ahead, ask away. There's no problem. Like I can find more things that I need to fix. You already helped me a little bit there, actually. So, okay, cool. So we have that. Now we can take that off. This one is also kind of like important for gameplay. So let's do that one as well. So basically when we go to the next stage, actually we could probably do it in game. We need to basically just remove all of the things. Everything that I guess is not the player, essentially. and then I'm gonna test this, but I'm gonna actually reduce the number of waves. To be 1 for now. There should be a limit of coins. I don't think they will accumulate as much. The thing about the bullets and everything, well, actually, well, yeah, the bullets we also check for collisions and stuff, but yeah. Yeah, exactly. Sure. Okay. Okay, the problem here is we also remove the background. Which I don't want to do. So, did we have a background component? No. What do you have? We could add a background tag. Okay, and now we can say we also want to exclude background items. We probably also like maybe at the end of a stage allow the player to kind of try and collect the remaining things. Yeah, it should also allow, like, if there's any enemies left on screen, we should probably not. Well, I don't know. Yeah, so that works better now. Okay. Okay, so this one is done. We might add more things here later, but okay. Now, where are we? Yeah, balancing the waves here is one thing. I want to get to like implementing the shield. That would make me feel a lot better here about this one. So maybe we'll do that. Yeah, so the shield is a little bit interesting. I don't have like graphics for the shield. Maybe I'll just make something quick here. I have the graphics for different tiers here. Very cool graphics. And I'm gonna do the basic like bluish shield color. And I'm gonna put this over here, maybe something similar. Actually, take the ship size as measurement. Move you down here. So this is the ship size. And so let's add a circle around that. like this, perhaps. Okay, and then selection border. Okay. I don't like. I want to have sharp edges. Okay, that's the shield. Like it would be cool to have some kind of animation and stuff, but yeah. Well, I'll add it if I have time later, maybe. So actually, we could probably, like, if I select from here, and then we'll shrink and do border 1. Whoops. Okay, what about border 1 now? No, it should be sharpened. All right, that's not great, but let's actually grow that. Isn't there like a filter or something you use, like noise? No, generate render fractal flame pattern. I was thinking like a lightning. Plasma. Yeah. So what if we do that and then we do a edge detect? No. Hmm. Wait, why can't I? What's happening? Distort. Ripple, shift, spherize. Ah. I mean, it's getting like things surrounding it. Almost. Ripple. There's a sine wave. Okay. I mean, I was thinking something like this, like. You know, like a plasma ball, whatever those are called. Maybe that could be part of the animation, like when you get hit or recharge or something. I don't know. I'm just gonna do, yeah, plasma lamp, yeah. I'm just gonna do another version that just doesn't have that in the center, because you want to be able to see your ship, I think. Okay, sure, let's do that. Alright, that should be good enough for now. The thing is, like, the enemies also can have, the enemies can also have, like, a shield. So does that fit the large one, is the question. And maybe if it's a small one, we probably want to have like a different one. I mean, it sort of fits. And the small one, we could just make a smaller version, I guess. But let's start here. I think I exported it. Okay, so we copy over the file. Okay, I'm just gonna grab a glass of water, I'll be right back. All right. One second here. All right. Okay, so let's do the shield. I guess we have to kind of, so basically with the weapons, because yeah, the weapon system is kind of, you know, the same between the enemy and the player, so I guess the shield will also be kind of the same, but we don't have a super good way of doing the hitbox thing, or I mean not the hitbox, but the hit, like actually hitting the player. Where is that happening? Is it in enemy system? Well, here we hit the enemy. So for shield for enemies, we would have that over here. But for the player, where is that happening actually? Is it in weapons? No. Okay, let's just search for like destroyed at oh, it's hit on the actual player component. Okay. Yeah, it's a little bit all over the place, this code base. It's not the greatest right now, but yeah, I've been stressing in a bunch of stuff. I don't know if they're gonna judge code quality though. I mean, it is a programming task. It's not, we're not using a tool like an editor, like, you know, Godot or anything like that. It's just using raylib and, you know, some program language that supports raylib essentially. So a code review could be used in judgment, but I don't think I don't think I saw that anywhere. Anyway, I mean, it's my first game jam as well. I'm just gonna be happy if I make a game, essentially. Something that has some kind of resemblance to a game. Okay. What do we do? So basically, when this is called from like somewhere. Damage on touch. Oh, yeah. Damage on touch, that's right. Right, okay. So we call hit on player. And essentially, this is just killing the player outright. But the shield will change that. So we'll have the player body has slots and might have a shield item. So we can, and we might even have like multiple shields. I actually didn't think about that. What happens if you have multiple shields? Like, should we go through each shield and try to deplete? Like, what we could do, we could just make a shield iterator. Just like we have weapon iterator, we can have shield iterator. And we get the item. I guess we can do the same as the weapon. Weapon iterator. Let's just copy this here and I'll make a shield iterator instead. I'm just gonna hard code this here. Shield iterator entry. And the filter is gonna check for body mods, but we also wanna check if item body mod type is equal to shield. And then you're a shield iterator. Wait. Oh, it was the wrong... Okay. You're the shield iterator. Okay. So now we have a shield iterator entry, and we can say that the item body mod shield. Yeah, so we're gonna deplete a charge if we have one. If shield has a charge, we are going to deplete a charge. Do we also reset the regeneration? Let's just do it like this for now. We take away the charge. I think we should probably reset the thing. We don't even have one for that, so I'm gonna say regenerate charge at is going to be equal to elapsed time plus duration. Okay, and if this happens, then we basically consumed the thing, so we could just return actually. Now we want to do other stuff as well, like play a sound, show maybe animation. If I had that, I don't have that right now. But yeah, that's it. We go through all the shields that we have. We find one that has charges available, and we use up that charge, and we reset the charge, regenerate timer, and then we're done. Cool. So the shields should now protect the player. The thing though is that we can't regenerate anything. But what I want to do is I want to add a shield to the drawer. Let's go to item shield. And I want to do... So we have a sprite. This is the kind of equipment sprite, and then we also have the shield sprite. That is going to be the sprite around the shield. I mean, we could technically here also have different sprites for different, like, number of charges that we have. Also tier could have like different colors or something, I don't know. But we actually don't really care about tier for this one right now. What I do care about maybe would be charges, maybe, but actually right now I just have one sprite, so we'll just use that one. And that one is this one here. 10 to 10. $47, $46. Okay. And we don't need the item. All right, so yeah, and then under draw, if we have a player and it's destroyed, we return. I guess here we could also draw the. Well, actually, I want to draw the shield after, probably. Draw shields. Okay. So if we have a player, then we have a shield iterator. Now, like if we have multiple shields, we're only gonna show like one of them, I guess. And so we don't need to loop here. Actually, we do need to loop. So we need to find one that has charges, actually. Item. So if item type, body mod type shield, and charges more than 0, then we draw the shield and we return. Yeah. So we need the shields. We need a sprite. Actually, this is entry. You know what? We probably benefit from actually getting the shield here. Now we don't actually need to get that. We can just say entry shield charges. And where was the other place we did that? Over here. Okay, if we have charges, we're gonna get this, well, yeah, we can just do entry, shield sprite, draw, body position, scale 1, efficiency. Okay, fine. And that's for the player. Let's do the same for the enemy. I'm just gonna copy some code, that's fine. Okay, there we go. Now I'm gonna initialize the player with a shield so we can see if it works. Yeah, we have a shield. We lose it and we die. Okay, so I guess the one thing that is missing from the shields are going to be recharging. So let's just add a new system for that. Sure, why not? Systems, shield. Oops. Yep. And this could happen, I think, anywhere really. Well, maybe it should happen here, or actually here. So we have a chance to recharge before we get damaged, perhaps. Alright. So essentially we want to kind of update the shield for both the player and the enemies. So when I have a common function, let's just update shields. Probably don't need the game actually, just need a context. And like if I was to reorganize this, I would probably lift out the body into a, or like yeah, the body, or like make an inventory or equipment component and put all the items in there, and then make it like an equipment system instead. But it is what it is right now. Let's get all enemies. And we're gonna do while we have context, we're gonna update the shield on those contexts. Alright. So, update shields, what's that gonna be? Well, we are going to get... Actually, you know what? Probably what we wanna do actually is we wanna get the player component. We wanna get something... Actually, we could get a shield iterator in here. Although that won't work because there's like two different shield iterators. Unless we do it like this, we have like update shield, like one update shield. And the shield is like gonna be just a pointer to a body mod shield. Yeah, because then we can say get the player component, player shield iterator. Actually, let's get the player shield iterator. It's going to be player component, and while that is happening, next we get the entry, and we're going to call update shield entry.shield. Okay, and then we basically do the same thing here, except this would be the enemy shield. Okay. Now, what do we do with update shield? We are going to say if we need game as well. Of course. Because we want to say if shield regenerate at is less than or equal to game elapsed time, then we want to regenerate a charge. So charges plus equal to 1, except it's only going to be up to charges max. And regenerate at is going to be reset. So elapsed time plus regenerate duration. That's basically it. Alright, so now we can hopefully regenerate the shield as well. Maybe there should be an invisible or invincible, because like if you're hit like this, damage on touch, or you're hit like by two weapons at the same time, or two bullets at the same time. There you go. Now we can try to regenerate, and there we go. We got it back. Okay. So either I'm thinking maybe we destroy the enemy, or you get a little bit of a grace period where when the shield is destroyed, when a shield charge is used, maybe you'll get a grace period. Yeah. So we could add that here. We could say like, but this would only be for the player though, and not for the enemies. So actually we could just add this to the player component. Is invincible. Actually, let's do it like this. Invincibility ends at. Okay, and then we can use that to check here if invisibility nset is more than elapsed time, then we don't do anything. Then we're invincible, so we don't care. Okay, if we get hit, we want to set the invincibility be elapsed time plus the grace period duration, which we have to define. And I don't know, 2 seconds maybe or something. Maybe that's too much. 1 second. 1.5. So now that you're only at a 6.5, you rolled a lot for just a week. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I have so much left to do. And it's basically at the end of the thing. Like, the last day is tomorrow. And I guess I will have like one more session I can do before I have to... yeah, and then I have to just, you know, submit it. I still need to add sound effects, music. Well, the music, I'm just gonna cheat, sort of. I'm just gonna get some kind of royalty-free music or something. Just to have something there. For the sound effects, I've learned to kind of generate sound effects using a program, so I can do that. But yeah, and then hopefully it will be cool to get to some other, like, to more content of the game, to make it more interesting or more like replayable. Like, now the kind of the basic machinery is like in place, but I just need to add more content, which is basically what I'm doing now. But I also need to fix the enemy waves and stuff like that. So there's a little bit of stuff left. Also, like, if I can get to it, the first kind of priority of nice to haves is gonna be the boss. So that will be cool to get to, like, have a boss as well. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how much we'll do here. And like random polish stuff. Like, I'm not sure if I'm just gonna cut everything and just try to polish as much as possible, like adding, you know, some small animations here and there and just making things look nicer. Not sure. Okay, so I think that actually should work now. You want like a roguelite? Yeah, sort of. It kind of became that. It wasn't the plan to this from the start, but it was just like the merge mechanic that was part of the game jam. So like hex and merge, and it's like, yeah, okay, that works. Except now it's kind of like, maybe the recharge time is too fast because I can kind of just cheat now. The grace period, let's do 1 second. And then the shield recharge duration. Let's increase this. Maybe I can add like an indicator to show how long, how much left is on the shield. Oh yeah, one other thing that I would like to have as well is like the actual module visible on the ship, because right now that's not the case. And what we could do there is we could I'm not gonna deal with that now though. Okay, to do. So the shield, we have kind of graphics. We have the icon. We kind of have the shield. We don't have these things, which would be nice to have. I'm probably gonna move this to nice to have and recharge. Like, yeah, I wanted to have like graphics for all of these, but it's gonna be, this is like acceptable here. Okay, so then we have data is not done. Functionality is kind of done. So the only thing is like defining the different tiers, I guess. Which we can do here. So we can accept a tier argument and we can return switch on tier. And we'll just put this over here. Whoops. No, come on. Okay. And else unreachable. We're gonna have tier 1. Charges max is gonna be 2. And tier 3, charges max 3. All right. So that's done. Weapon mods. Let's just go over the weapon mods actually, so we can tick that off. Damage. These doesn't really have tiers. It would be cool if that could be a thing, like adding tiers to the weapon mods. Maybe I'll increase this to like 50%. Instead of 20%. 20% seems way too low. And now you need a tier, right? And now you need a tier 0 and you want a tier there. Okay. So that was the damage mod. I'm gonna kind of have the same thing for rate of fire. Let's do 50%. Projectile speed is like a little bit weird. I don't know, it's not really a super cool thing. I'm not sure if we're even gonna have that in the actual like available items in the game. Oh yeah, one thing that I forgot about was the... Man, there's so much to do. The shop needs to properly randomize items, available items. Yeah, because right now we don't... We just have a pre-selection available right now. I mean, it's basically only one type of each thing anyway, except for weapon mods. Like you could either get rate of fire or damage. So available items, we just set them to like, yeah, we just set them to these pre-configured things. This needs to be implemented so that we actually have some kind of randomizer here. Um, but yeah, so now damage data is done. So damage is done. Rate of fire, graphics, yes, we have that as well. But I'm not sure if I updated the graphics for that one though. Rate of fire sprite is probably not correct. Also, I probably want to move this down because I noticed the graphics, this was sticking up. So I'll move these two down like that. And let's do this one for rate of fire. So 99, 161. And there we go, then that's done. No, that's not correct. Hang on. 95, 143. What the hell? Why can't I... type here? Okay. Cool. And then 17, 19. There we go. This is the thing. So this is still in the grill there. Can you... what is actually happening? Oh, because we're on layer... okay, we're on a different layer. I'm going crazy on Vim here. Or, not Vim, GIMP. I'm actually gonna move you down here. Okay. So what was it now? 95. 143. 17, 19. So this is the area there. And then we'll move you down here. And this is the one for them. 95, 162. 17, 19. Yes, and then we have this one, which is the projectile speed. 163, 82. Okay. Just to take this off here. Oops. Cool. So weapon mods is done. Everything that is done, I'm gonna move to done, so I can see what's left. Machine gun data is done, so this one is actually done here. The scatter shot is not done, but I'll move this one up to weapons. Okay. Shield is sort of basically done. So that means body mods is done, essentially. No. Enemies, a lot of stuff is done. I need to just fix the kind of the wave stuff, balancing that. Different AI types. I mean, this one is already done, of course. Follow player, music, sound effects, ending screen, menu. We need to fix the UI a little bit. Coin counter, randomize. Yeah, so those are the things like MVP stuff. And then nice to have like a couple of more weapons, more weapon mods, more enemy AI stuff, the boss, and then I have this memory leak, which I don't care about. Okay, so how do we think? maybe we should even move this out of MVP actually. I'm gonna down prioritize it actually. So yeah, I'm gonna move it down out there. So we're actually done with the weapons, although, you know, we can always add more. Okay, so for actual gameplay stuff now, it's like the enemies. It's the, I'll actually move music and sound is like, I'll do that kind of last here. The ending screen, this is just like the UI stuff really. I'll probably put this over here. I mean, it needs to be done, but I'm just trying to fix the gameplay. I just feel like gameplay is more important, so I'm prioritizing that. And then we have this thing here. Okay, so essentially, what is left for MVP gameplay is just fixing enemy waves and randomize proper items in the shop. And then the rest is like UI stuff and music and sounds. So yeah. And then we can decide on what to add next. I think the first, like the priority first should be the scatter shot weapons. We have at least 2 different weapons. And then maybe the boss, if I have that much time. I'm gonna have maybe a couple of hours tomorrow. And I have like tonight until maybe 2 more hours or something. But yeah, the thing that I'm worried about is the enemy waves, because this is like, it's kind of arbitrary. I just have to think about a solution there. Like, this is a start. Determine the size of waves with points, which could include like the group stuff. Oh yeah, actually, I totally forgot about this. Oh, sorry, I didn't show any of that. But, well, we can jump back here now. This enemy is not actually implemented, so we can implement this enemy as well. That should be pretty simple, actually. I can do it right now. So I'll put that somewhere. Actually, it doesn't matter. I'll just add it here. So we have enemy components. We have the different body types. So we have small and large. So I'm gonna add medium. And I'm actually gonna change small to have only 1 mod, because medium is gonna be the new small. And then medium has the correct sprite, but the small does not. So I need to do this. 243, 131, and 11 by 10. Nice to get a little bit more variation as well. Okay, and then you are actually medium, and you are 231 there instead. Okay. And then shorts dropped, medium, I think we said like 10 maybe. Offset. Right. This would just be like 0.5, 0.5, because there's only one. This one is also like, let's do like 0.2, 0.8. And the large, yeah. Was that the, yeah, some kind of offset. Max health, yeah, it's gonna be the same as the shards dropped. Okay. So medium is gonna have no, that they're gonna have like 50 or something. Okay, and we can even lower these a little bit. Cool, so now we have the small ones as well, and that should all now trickle down into the randomizer, I think. Yeah, now we get the small ones, and they, since they are very cheap, they usually have weapons now. Yeah. Yeah, and the shield actually feels like it does something now. I mean, of course, I implemented it, but I mean, the in-game play, like you want to keep it, like you want to keep it alive as much as possible. But then if you, if you get hit, of course it, you know, now you're vulnerable all of a sudden. So you have to be very careful. Okay, cool. That immediately gave a lot more variation here. And so, yeah, so I mean, that's the kind of power now this system has. Is like, I can add another kind of type of thing, and then that's gonna be fed into the system here. Which is kind of cool. So then, what are we gonna do? We are going to, what I wanted to do is I wanted to go to this initial value, change this now, because the small ones are shooting. So they essentially, if it's a difficult wave, I think they get like 28 points. So you get like 4 plus an item. So like, I don't know, maybe that's too much. Maybe we won't allow large ships at the start. Maybe only do like 5, so that the max of difficult waves will only be like, you know, the medium-sized ships, and then the large ships will come in later. And yeah, this this is like pretty difficult for the first wave here. So that's what I mean with the difficulty of the waves. I need to make it so that less enemies are spawned. Yeah. But yeah, okay, so the small enemy was added. I mean, maybe we should do that right now, actually. Somehow. I just don't know exactly how it's gonna work, though. That's the thing. So we have this point system where we start at, okay, enemy waves start at like 5 points, which means that they have 5, it's kind of like what level of difficulty do we have in the level. So we start at 5 as a baseline, and then some waves are like more difficult than other waves, so they get like double points. If we go, it's all happening in here like init random. So there's always 10 waves, and you get the starting amount, which starts out as 5 now. And then we basically, here we determine should we have an easy wave or difficult wave, basically 50-50 here. Maybe this should be more biased towards easy waves, actually. So it's not a 50-50. Maybe we should have like, if, instead of this, we'll do like if float is less than like so 20%, or if it's more than so 80% to have an easy wave, otherwise we have a difficult wave or something like that. Or you could also have, maybe you could also have like that in the beginning you get the easy waves, and then as the stage progresses you also increase the difficulty instead of doing it like this. Like instead of getting one difficult wave, or we'll say that we can also say like, okay, let's do it like this. The difficult wave should be like in the center, in the middle maybe, and then at the end. So let's do, because then it's always, yeah, then so if this is 5 or 9, then it's going to be the difficult wave, otherwise it's the easy wave. However, the easy wave also depends on the current wave, so we could do like add 10% every or maybe like after the middle we'll have moderate waves, and that's going to be starting value times 1.5 maybe. So basically, like if I equals 5, we get a difficult wave. Else if I is less than, no, if I is 9, we get difficult wave. Else if I is less than 5, we get an easy wave. Else we get a moderate wave. Well, what if we make you into a float first? And then you're on U size, and we do int from float. How about that, Zig? Okay. Yeah, so now we get like easy waves first, and then we get one difficult wave in the middle, and we get moderate waves, and then we got one more difficult wave in the end. Okay, and that's the same pattern every time. But so that kind of, increases, the value as we go. Now the thing is, each wave can also be modified here. So we basically have like number of spawns is just a random number from 3 to 10. There's nothing governing that from a value standpoint. It's only, this is the number of spawns that we get. Now that's fine. However, each individual enemy in the number of spawns can be like a very difficult enemy, for example. So then you get 10 very difficult enemies, instead of saying that, well, maybe we should only have like 3 difficult enemies and they should be further apart. Instead we get like 10 difficult enemies, maybe all at once. So that's the kind of thing that I want to avoid happening here. Now I don't think there's anything wrong with this per se here, but maybe we'll take the value. We can't really divide it by number of spawns because that's going to be too low of a number in value then. So what should we do? Yeah, because we need like at least 4 to even spawn an enemy. And if we divide by 10, that means the value has to be like 40 to even spawn anything at all. And we start at 5, so that doesn't make any sense. So this shouldn't be equal to just that. This should be like a lower factor or whatever. So we have 5. How we distribute that? Hmm. Okay, I feel like this should also be part of this, like, this is just one enemy. This essentially multiplies by up to 4. So this goes from like 2 to 4. So here you get 1, value 1. Here you get 2 to 4. So that this should also be part of it. Because this is the reason I think why we get these crazy waves sometimes. So what could we do there? We could maybe pass in number of spawns. And then that gets like distributed. Instead of randomly choosing this, we can also lower the chance of a group. Instead of doing a boolean. Let's do that. So basically we'll do the same thing here. So if we're more than 2.2, we choose the normal enemy or one enemy. Otherwise we get the group. Okay, so that should significantly reduce the number of enemies like spawn together in like a weird thing there. Okay. It's kind of cool, but it also feels like nothing's really happening as well. I don't know if we should add, maybe we should add like custom enemies that have their own weapons that are not part of this randomized thing, maybe. Or maybe add like weapons to the enemies that we don't have. Maybe, yeah, maybe like super weak weapons that have like a lower cost or something. Because now it just feels like I'm getting thrown a bunch of random waves, which is exactly what is happening. So yeah, that is that is what's happening here. Also, my weapon feels very weak, but that's why this is like. I mean, it is kind of like a roguelite, to be honest. I get like a major roguelite vibes from this, except I need to make it more interesting. Okay, so then we get this and we buy this thing here. And now we can even merge the shield, so we got a better shield now as well. So I have 2 charges on the shield, but it also went out. This was the difficult wave, probably. I mean, maybe what we could do is have every enemy, we give every enemy a kind of like a default weapon that is kind of like unique to them, maybe. And then they would have these extra and like extra items just to increase like the difficulty. Also, this is kind of bullshit here. Why do they have so much rate of fire? Oh, I also thought of something here. Menu, mouse, support. And I also need touch support. I need to also test that. Wait, that's not where it should be. It should be over here. Mouse, touch support. Also, gameplay, touch support. Because the whole thing here is gonna be compiled to. So this is how the rules are of the game jam. It needs to be compiled into WASM, and we ran on the web, and it needs touch support. So that's why that's important there, and that's also partly the reason why the game is like it is. Like here, like I use a mouse to move. You can use the keyboard, except the mouse kind of takes priority right now, because I think I'm gonna just make that so the keyboard won't actually work, and I'm just gonna have like the mouse do the thing. Yeah, I really need more variation on like the enemies moving around, like the enemy movement patterns. Okay, where's the difficult wave? Is this the difficult wave? No, can't be. I was like, was that the end? No. Okay. Also, it doesn't feel like this does more damage. I think we don't get the damage from the item, actually. So I need to fix that as well. There's a bug right now where the damage is not actually calculated properly. It actually, every projectile is like 1 damage. Because otherwise these would like just melt right now. Because every shot is 2 damage. The idea would actually was actually that I was just gonna have like 2 shots and not 2 pairs of shots. Like 1 pair of shot and not 2 pairs of shots. All right. And then you're hit with that. Okay. That's why it's a roguelike. Okay. Right. Yeah, so I think different AI types is like straight line. Yeah. Let's also add, so follow player, but let's also add like simple movement patterns. That they would kind of move, maybe first they move like down and then maybe they switch to move a little bit sideways and then continue down, like moving from side to side, you know, something like that. I'm trying to balance the waves, but yeah, it's points determine the size of waves. I don't know. I think I just need to make the enemies more interesting and also try to prevent to get those walls of death, essentially, that you get sometimes just because of random waves. Okay, what should we knock off here while we can? I'll just add the coin counter. Why not? Draw HUD. Is this the last day? Yeah, I thought it was the last day, but actually there's one more day. There's tomorrow as well. So, well, if I go in and look at the timer of the game jam, it currently says 22 more hours. 22 more hours, so I will have until tomorrow, at the same time, essentially. So, yeah. And I have a little bit of time tomorrow morning. For me, it's morning anyway. Can you show the game? Sure. I'll just add this. Okay, sure. I'll show it. So here's the game right now. And well, this was kind of difficult. Yeah, we get these random waves of enemies. You kill them, you pick up scraps or shards. The enemies don't really do much right now. They just move downwards. Sometimes they get a weapon. And each stage has 10 waves of enemies, and the waves are kind of everything is like randomly generated, so they just come at you at random here. I don't even know how that got spawned like that. I think it's okay, and here's like a difficult wave, I guess. Not really super difficult, but I probably, as I said, I'll probably add like a default weapon to everything that they won't really use. The cooldown will be very small, and the firing, like, yeah, it will kind of be random, so that everything doesn't shoot at once. Also, getting something like this, it's like hard to get to like actually defeating them because they are all over the place. Or okay, so here's the shop. So you can buy different things in the shop. I'm gonna buy a shield, and or maybe it didn't actually matter. Actually, I should have bought the other thing. But yeah, so now I can equip the things. I have machine gun tier 2. This is actually wrong here. And then I have body shield, and this is also wrong. It actually has like 2 charges max. But yeah, anyway. So now we have a tier 2 weapon here. So we dispatch these a little bit easier. We get a shield. That should start activated actually. I'm not sure why it didn't. Yeah, so now we can collect a bunch more shards. Actually, I'm gonna try and complete the 3 waves. Oh, we got the rare planet in the background. Doesn't actually do anything. It's just nice to have some scenery. And then at the end of the last wave, I want to have, or the last stage, I want to have kind of like a boss. But okay, this is probably then like the difficult wave or something. But the thing is, yeah, that's gonna be like a nice to have later. First priority to get all the basic stuff in. I mean, it's shaping up a little bit, a tiny bit. And look at this wave here. This is probably not what you want. Okay, that was it. I'll do like weapon mod, because I can merge the weapon mod into the weapon, and now the weapon has more damage. Okay, this is the last stage. I'm surprised they are not all attacking me here. Okay, there we go. Oh. Yeah, the rate of fire. I don't understand why the rate of fire is like it feels like the weapons are actually not debuffed at all for the enemies. So I need to check that as well. Oh my god, they have tier 3 now. Oh, I just realized that the the projectiles are the wrong way around for the enemies. They got like tier 3 machine guns. Tier 2 and tier 3. That must have been a difficult wave. So yeah, the enemies are spawned using like a point system. So they basically spawned with an X number of points to give to the enemy. And if they are given more points, they can have more powerful items. And so right now they have like, you know, tier 2 and tier 3 weapons here. And there we go. There's the end of the game. That's why everything looks like something went wrong. Cool. And that's it. Right now. Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah. Enemy system on spawn projectile. I'm gonna do rotation equals 180 degrees. There we go. So now the enemy projectiles will be properly turned around there. But then there's also the thing where they should be debuffed. So I don't understand why they are not. Did I remove this here? No. If we shoot next shooter is some shot cooldown. The shot cooldown, is that updated? It's not. Wait, are you actually called? Update. When are you called? You are called here though, so it's... yeah. Wait. Oh. Hang on. Right. I'm gonna... okay. So we don't apply them here. What we do is we say entry weapon mods append Oh, you want an item? Maybe I should lower the health on these ones. I mean, it's more fun to destroy a bunch of enemies than to have them be bullet sponges. Oh. Actually, I wonder how well this would run on the web. Come on, where's the weapons? There we go. Okay. The rate of fire seems to have been lowered, but the projectile speed is like the other way around. Uh, Okay, I'll just, you know what I'll do? I'll put this down as bug. Where did I put the bugs here? Here, enemy projectiles are too fast, and maybe something wrong with the projectile speed mod. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna do a bunch of sound effects, and that's gonna be it for this time. I mean, yeah, at least then we have made some progress on that front, and maybe I'll check into music as well. So then we kind of have rounded off a little bit. Actually, maybe I will leave gameplay a little bit for now. I just need, yeah, it's just the enemies. The enemies are the thing I need to work. But yeah, because that's what fills the game, right? That's what fills the content of the game. So yeah, but I'll do a bunch of sound effects here. So we need a sound effect for a bunch of stuff. So let's add here. Because you can hear it as well. This could be like select. Sure, that's good enough for me. And that's the cancel. Raylib gamejam cancel. All right, let's fiddle around with this a little bit. That could be accept, I guess. Excerpt. Item swap. Item merge. All right, that's the merge. And then we need a swap. Sure. Item swap. Okay, so that's all the menu stuff. Now we have like, I want to have one sound for each weapon. We only have one weapon right now, so it's gonna have to be something that's not super annoying because it's gonna be all the time. Sure. This would be machine gun. And we have like shield hit. I'm not sure if you hear this. It's pretty low. No, that sounds like you're picking up something. Oh, that's actually a nice like machine gun sound, but it's... Oh, I see what's going on. I think it's the repeat. Yeah. Okay, sure. That is gonna be shield hit. Let's do shield recharge. Sure. Radar game jam. Shield recharge. Okay, so we've got machine gun, we got the weapons, we got shield recharge, shield hit, we got all the menu stuff. So we need the ship was destroyed, enemy ship destroyed. So explosion. That could be the player explosion. And then we need the enemy explosion. I feel like it's kind of long. Sure, let's go with that. Enemy explosion. I mean, you could have different explosion, I guess, for different ones of those. But yeah, let's copy. All of that. Cool. Oops. So we have all these now. Great. We just need to add them into the actual game as well. Now, since we have so many sounds, what I'm thinking is I'm gonna look at the game. I'm gonna make a sounds. Sound. Yeah, I'm just gonna make a sound enum here. And we're gonna have machine gun. Yeah, just machine gun. We're gonna have shield hit, shield recharge. We're gonna have what else do we have? All the menu stuff, explosion, so player explosion, enemy explosion, menu accept, menu cancel, menu select, item merge, item swap, and yeah, that's it actually. Okay, and then we'll have a function here, play sound. We'll take a sound here, which is a sound like this, and then this is gonna play the sound. And we're gonna say, well, let's have a map here. File name. Self is a sound. This gives us a thing, a string. Gonna switch on self. Basically, gonna take all these and no. Alright, so now you are machine gun. Actually, I can just do this. Shield hit. Shield recharge. Player explosion. Enemy explosion. And accept. Yeah. Cancel. also item select merge and swap. Oops. Okay. Oh. All right. So we are going to play those sounds. Also, we need the sound. Okay, let's just make a sound struct. Actually, you can actually make a, if you have an enum like this, you can make a sounds struct. It's gonna be meta, no, enums, and then an enum field struct, where the enum is a sound. The data type is going to be raylib sound, and then this is null. Okay, so now this is a struct that basically takes all of these, makes them into fields with the type where you point in here. So we have a new type that basically maps these to a raylib sound. And now what we can do is we can say, oh, sorry, I have this on here. Now what we can say is we can say we need self, we need game here. I'm gonna add this eventually. We're gonna have sounds equal to get singleton sounds. And actually that's part of setup actually. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna move this out to sound. And whoops. Now let's get sound there. Yeah. And sounds. So we're gonna get the sounds, and then we're gonna say, actually we can even make this comp time, sounds comp time, and we're gonna say RL play sound, and then sounds, we're gonna do field sounds tag name sound. Okay, so that will grab out the correct field from this, because this is comp time known, so we know which field to get, and this is the sounds. Yeah, actually it already knows that that is the, but it doesn't really understand what this type is. Okay, so there we go. There's our thing there. Now, what I want is, I also want to have, let's go to setup, and we'll add, should I put it here? Where's the spreadsheets over here? Create sounds. Okay, so we'll get sounds. It's gonna be sounds. And now this one requires a bunch of missing struct field machine gun. So we need to fill in all of these things. So we'll take this. And say raylib load sound. And then the sound is gonna be like, well, machine gun dot file name. Oops. And I will also, do I need to do anything more here? I don't think so. There we go. Okay, and then you will be an error. Oh, I needed to do try. Okay, well. There we go. And we need sound as well. Cool. Oh. Fine. Because it's only used for raylib, I'm gonna do that. And we're gonna catch unreachable. Yeah. So now we want to do self-add singleton sounds. Okay, so now that's available to us. And what else do we want to do here? I don't think we need to do anything else here. Actually, we do want to do something here. We want to set, well, no. The master volume is already set somewhere. Yeah. So hopefully that won't be too loud now. Okay, so let's go back to game. Now play sound, we get the sounds, and we play the sound. So yeah, I think that's it. Now the only thing we need to do is just use this function when things are happening. So for example, item shoot let's see, weapon type shoot, you are machine gun. So for example here we're gonna say self, well, it's gonna be game play sound machine gun. Okay, so whenever we start the game now, we should get a bunch of machine gun sounds, because that's all we do. Oh, we got an error. Unwrap error, load sound. Source resources. I did double check this with Oh, I know what's wrong. If you want to use sound with raylib, you have to also initialize it as well. Wait, I think it's like init. I have init raylib somewhere there. Right, I need to also do init audio device. I think that's what the issue is. There we go. Okay. Great. I mean, for one, I'm not sure if we actually set the master volume anywhere. We do it in settings, but I'm not sure if we ever set it to start with. So I'm gonna set the thing here. No, I did not want to do that. Yeah. Okay. And well, I need to change that sound because it's kind of annoying. And then I think you also want to do close audio device. As well. Make sure that's all tidied up. Okay, so that was that. Now let's do like, I don't know, enemy explosions. Hit enemy, spawn explosion, spawn shards, gameplay sound, enemy explosion. Okay, already it's like a million times better. Okay, I also actually I want something, some kind of sound effects when we pick up shards as well. That's probably not this though. I think this is pitch, jump, onset. What is happening here? I don't think anything is happening. Not sure what type of sound it will be. No, there's too much happening. This is gonna sound like all the time. Synchron. Okay, we'll try that one. Short. Pick up short. So short. Where is this happening? Player. Here. Also, well, it's kind of short, but I also don't want to play it at the same time as it's being played as well. So what you can do is then say if is, so what is it? Is sound playing? Right, is sound playing? No, is sound playing? Get sound. This is the zig+raylib sound equivalent. So is sound playing? Well, if it's not playing, we want to play it. So because otherwise you can get like spammed and the volume will increase if you pick up like 100 at the same time or something. It's gonna be insane. Right, and now we need pickup shard here somewhere. Where did we have it? After explosion. Now this can actually be automated with some comp time. So what we can do is we can say that this is a sounds. It's going to be undefined to start with. Okay. But it's not a constant, it's a variable. And then we're going to do inline for fields of sounds. I'll get a field and whoops. And then we're going to say sounds. So basically at field sounds field of name. I think if we have content there, maybe no. So if so field sounds at field name is equal to try raylib sound or load sound, and then sound, and then this would be like actually we could do fields. We could also just do enum values sound, because then we will get the sound enum or the sound tag, which means that we can now use tag name sound to get the same thing. And then here we can say sound of file name instead. And that's going to be replacing all of this in an automated way. Now I don't need to. If I add another sound, I don't need to add it here. Enums. There we go. Standard. Okay. And what sound did I add? I forgot. Oh yeah, the shards. I don't like it, but also let's try and play it every time. Okay. Yeah, okay, cool. I guess yeah, that's not too bad. I'm gonna try and accumulate a little bit. I guess we could also have different shard pickups for different values of the shard as well. Oh yeah, there should definitely be a sound for just hitting the enemy. Okay, let's try the player. Well, I didn't actually add it. Okay, sure. We'll do that. System player. No, it's gonna be, well, no, yeah, it's gonna be play component hit. The shield hit, actually. Yeah. So here we'll play the shield hit. And here we will play... Also, this should actually be at the start. We should play player explosion. What else? Shield system. Here we regenerate a shield, so shield regenerates. or recharge. Yeah. Okay, I just want to do that enemy hit as well. Let's do like... That's not too bad, actually. Okay. Game jam, enemy hit. Let's copy over that again. Go to sound, we're gonna add enemy hit. Cool. This program here is called BFXR. You can like generate, it's like a super simple, or well, it has a bunch of features here, so it's not super simple, but it's like it's super easy to do, like just generate, and they have these presets like pickup coin, laser shoot, essentially like you know, 8-bit type sounds. And yeah, you can choose like the basic wave function here and a bunch of other things to kind of just very easily like and quickly like generate sounds. So yeah, I'm not a master at it, but I've been using it for a bit, and yeah, I think it's pretty cool. It's actually really cool because yeah, it you know, if you've learned a little bit how to use it, it goes pretty quickly to generate the sounds. But I'm also a super newbie when it comes to sounds and music and stuff, so so there's, I mean, I don't know if there's other tools that are super good as well. But yeah, no problem. What? Yeah, so I added the enemy hit, and I believe that should happen here somewhere. Hit enemy. I guess we can try to always play that sound. So enemy hit. But why is it oh, it's recharging. Okay, so the shield is like every 6 seconds it's gonna make the sound, because I don't have a check for if we're already at max charges. Cool. And then maybe we'll do like a sound effect when we complete the level or something. I feel like that's gonna be more like a music thing though. Oh well, a very short thing. Like there's some utility in this program that you can actually make the notes or make the pitch change in certain places, but it's very, very limited. Would you add explosion, fire, and smoke? Maybe. Like, I think that's the kind of polish that I'm gonna wait until I've done, like, until I've established the fun part, I guess. Like, right now I need to balance, like, I need to work on the enemy behavior. That is kind of the priority number one right now. Oh yeah, we need also the UI looks very bad, but I want to go to shop. So we can test this here. Oh. Let's go to gameplay. Okay, sure. Let's go back to menu. And let's go to what is it? I'm just brain farting now. Is the presence in zig at version 1 yet? I mean, it's surprisingly stable though. I mean, when it comes to, you know, robustness of compilation and stuff like that, like some experimental features that still doesn't work, like, or that still needs that you can enable, like incremental compilation, for example. But I mean, if you're just using the basic compiler and it works really well. The thing that is not stable though is like the standard library right now, and perhaps some language features that are like changing. So if you plan to use it, you have to be mindful of that. Like, things can change with the next major version, which could affect your whole like code base and stuff like that. So depending on how you've kind of, you know, done it. I mean, one example is previously, if you were doing any kind of file manipulation, like opening files, creating files, writing to files, the only thing you needed was essentially, you really didn't need anything to do that. It was just part of the standard library, and you just open up a directory, you could create a file in there and so on. Now with the latest major, like 0.16, they introduced the IO type, which is now required every time you want to do something. So this is the thing here, the IO instance needs to be passed everywhere you need to do anything with files, anything with threads, random stuff, you know. So you have to be mindful of that. Like something like that can change, and if you had a bunch of like I had like a bunch of like places where I manipulated files and stuff, now I need to just now I need to pass IO everywhere. So but it wasn't like that big of a deal. But yeah, you just have to be mindful of those kind of changes. They can, like, if you're starting, if you want to make like a larger project. You started Zig like 2 days ago. Oh, okay. So maybe you're still in like the learning phase. But yeah, I think that they are really. I really like the direction they're going though. Like I like the changes that they are doing. It's just that sometimes it breaks my project, so I have to fix them. But that's fine. Like that's what you have to live with if you're choosing to go with a language that is not yet like fully completed. So, but I just like it so much that this is my favorite language right now. And it has been since I basically started using it, essentially. Uh, but yeah, let's see. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to go to nwaves, change you back to 1. And now we can go in there more quickly. And then what I want to do is I want to go to update, menu. No, not menu. I want to go to update, shop. Oh, right. I actually cheated and put all the update stuff in the draw function. Right. Draw shop. Still learning the syntax? Yeah. But have you used any kind of C-like programming language? I'm guessing C, or like, what about manual memory management and dealing with things like on the stack and stuff like that? Draw skip underwire button C#. Okay. Yeah. So that's yeah, a bit of a jump. Well, it's always going to be a jump though. But the manual memory management part is what I think I've been struggling with the most when it comes to these. And even then, I was actually I had some experience with manual memory management, but never to the point of finding like good ways to kind of think about it. Yeah, it's a huge part for sure. Like, to kind of learn how to go about, yeah, just doing different things essentially. Kind of hard to explain, but basically different patterns that work in different places and for different purposes. Like when I first started out, I was trying to avoid using allocators at all costs. But then it was like, well, let's just try and see. And then it was like, okay, now we're using allocators everywhere. But then now I go back to like trying like a mix of, stack-based and allocation-based stuff. If the thing is pressed. We click on a button. We go to modification. I'm going to play a game, or play a sound called accept. And this one could be cancel because we're clicking the, no wait, it's the other way around. This is skip, that should be cancel, and buy should be accept. All right, let's try that. See how that works out for us. Skip. I didn't hear anything. But okay, I'm just gonna assume that that worked. What else did I think about? Oh yeah. How come this is not updated yet? Okay, I heard it now, but it was, yeah. Yeah, why is this here? God damn it. Okay, whatever. Yes, yes, yes. What else? We select the item. That should also be, that should be like item select. Okay. And then we have draw modification. Modification ship. Select an item. So this is essentially selecting an item. Here we are actually, well, actually we could do it in these functions actually. Merge and swap. And then inventory as well. All right. Cool, cool. Okay, let's try that now. I also need like mouse control in the menu. Okay, great. Yeah, I think that was all the sounds. Cool. So this is done now, for now. We also have like music. I think I'm gonna have to stop here now today though. But I'll continue tomorrow. It's the last day. So yeah. I don't actually know what I should do. I think I just wanna make the enemies more fun to shoot. Fix these things so that it works properly here. And I mean, we need to get to these things as well. But I just feel like once I have this in place, the rest is just kind of, you know, trudging through these smaller things. And then maybe we'll get to implementing at least one other weapon here. So yeah, okay. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this time. So thank you very much for watching me here. I'll probably go on tomorrow at some time in like, I don't know, 10 hours or something, 11 hours, we'll see. But yeah, thank you very much. I'll see